Alright guys, in this trek into DIY tech, we're going to look at the Herelink Air Unit. We put the fan on this one. We installed it in the last video if you want to check that out. We'll put the link in the description for you. So this is pretty cool. It has two video inputs. So we've got two HDMI inputs on there. And very interesting because a lot of the DIY stacks that you see out there only have one video transmitter, so you connect one camera. There have been a lot of drone builds that now they carry a cinematic camera as well as the FPV camera, and so they're transmitting two video channels. The Air Unit has that built into the Air Unit, so you have two video channels among the telemetry and other things that it also transmits, but it's native. This one also has, this is a V1.1. It also has an Ethernet port under there. But anyway, let's take a look and see what you can do with these two video channels. I know you're thinking it's cameras, two cameras, right? Two HDMI cameras, we plug them in. Let's go take a look at this. All right, so this is the full set, right? So you have the Air Unit and then you have the controller that connects to it. Now, what I'm going to say is, if you're messing with these things, this is pretty expensive equipment. So obviously, I am borrowing this from Apogee Drones, and while I have it, I'm going to show you guys, take every opportunity to show you guys some of the things I get to work with. Do not turn these things on without having the antennas plugged in. So now, why is that? So these devices take electrons, turn them into waves so that they can be transmitted over long distances. And obviously, there are a lot of electrons being turned into waves. And if these antennas are not here to assist in that conversion, those electrons just turn into heat. And heat, without a way to dissipate, obviously, you're going to release the magic smoke. And once you release the magic smoke from these devices, the devices they cease to carry out their magic functions. So put the antennas on before you power any of this up. So what we have here, we're going to use the benchtop power supply. We're going to provide this with 12 volts. We have 7 to 12 volt input here. And we have a 12 volt fan. I've tied them together here. So we're going to clip those to the power supply, benchtop power supply. So be careful when you do these things. You don't want to short anything out. Make sure you have the polarity correct. Some of these things have polarity. They have protection for reverse polarity. Some don't. But you don't want to take that chance. So we have that set up. Off camera, I'm going to set up my benchtop power supply for... I'm going to give it 12 volts. And so, typical fan, right? You're going to hear that sound. But that's a pretty powerful fan. I can feel the breeze blowing. Yeah, that's a pretty powerful fan. But anyway, LED 2 is on. So we're going to turn on, and I've already paired these, so should be paired. we'll see the connection come up. So these use, this is running Q ground control, or a version of Q ground control. So we're waiting for vehicle connection. What I wanted to show you is, all right, so we'll fast forward to the connection. Okay, so what we forgot about was the vehicle. So this is looking for a vehicle. We have no vehicle connected. So now we've got it connected. I'm going to give it some power here. And we'll try to filter out that fan noise, because that is pretty loud. So this baby's going to poop.
Hold pre-flight fail. Accelerometer uncalibrated. Pre-flight fail. Strong magnetic interference.
I know. But that's not what we're looking for right now. We're just wanting to hook up some cameras. So now that we've got the vehicle connected, let's connect the camera and see what that looks like. So we've got various HDMI cables here. We've got enough in here. We're going to hook it up to camera number 1. So let's take a look. HDMI 1 is right there. So that's micro HDMI, and we have nice run cam 6 here. Let's see if I've got it charged up. Yeah. All right. We're going to plug it right into HDMI port there. And we'll see if we can get the output here. Okay, my bad. This was, so when I was playing around with this before, I went into the settings for Q ground control, and I had set the video source to RTSP because I was messing around with a different camera. So, oh man, this is hard to, like, unless you have your hands on it. But anyway, setting it to auto connection, and we've got the fan off for now. We'll keep an eye on the heat. So setting it to auto connection for video stream, and we go back out, and you're gonna see that as soon as I connect the camera, it sends the video stream back there. So there you go. That is that's the video stream from that camera. So the cool thing is, so now I'm going to connect the other camera. So I have another cable sitting here. This is getting a little bit cluttered, but hey, we're going to do it anyway. So we're connecting to 2 here. What I want to show you is that you actually have to actively go between the 2 cameras, right? So even though, so we're going to turn this one on. All right, turn that guy on. And then we're going to go to stream number 2. And then it takes a second to connect to it, but you'll see it switch over. Let's put this on 1080. So, man, that's probably because I didn't have both cameras turned on. Oh, there it goes. So it took a little bit, but it switched over. So let's see how quickly it switches back to. Okay, there you go. So we switch back to number 1. And then let's switch back to number 2 and see how long that takes. Yeah, it takes a little bit to switch between the cameras. I have this on 1080p, so let's see. Yeah, it takes a little bit. Maybe if I switch it back, let's see. Well, it's taking quite a bit of time. Oh. It doesn't like that 1080p switching back and forth. Yeah, that's quite a bit faster. Let's try that experiment again. Let's switch it back to 1080p and see if that's what's causing the issue. No. It's switching right away now. Interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we can keep it on 1080p. But anyway, the next thing I wanted to show you is this. So say you're doing some post-processing with something like a Raspberry Pi. So I'm just going to pull this one out. I'm not going to do the whole setup. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. So we have a Raspberry Pi with camera, but we're just going to hook up the Raspberry Pi. So the Raspberry Pi's got a full HDMI. So this is one of the older Raspberry Pi. But if you have, this is a Model B version 1.2. I just happen to have another cable. I have a million cables here. So I just happen to have an HDMI cable. So we're going to hook up the HDMI cable and we're going to see what it looks like to look at something like a coprocessor that you might have on board. We're going to hook this up to connector number 2 on there. Let's see if, oh, this is this one's upside down. So we're going to have to do some gymnastics here. Yeah, oh no, it was right side up. Sorry. I did get the right one. Boom. All right, that's connected, and now we have to get a micro USB to power this guy. Let's see if we have a micro USB floating around here. Oh, we can't disconnect the flight controller. Let me get a. All right, got ourselves a micro USB cable. Here we go. And we are going to plug that into a power bank and power up the Raspberry Pi. And we'll see if we can see the output of the Raspberry Pi on there. We certainly still have the other camera. And let's see. No, I don't even know if this guy still works. But we're gonna try it. Oh, you know what? Here, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get the laptop and hook it up to there. We shall see. All right. Let's do that. Just to see. Oh, dude. Okay, so that's the output from the laptop. I gotta check this Raspberry Pi out. I don't know if it's even booting up. We got a power light. Anyway. All right, so it turns out the Raspberry Pi is fine. I'm scrolling some things up on the screen so you can see some possible causes and fixes, but it turns out not all HDMI outputs are compatible with the inputs on the Air unit, so just be aware of that. One of the things you can try is hooking up the output from the camera or device you're trying to test to a TV, say, and see if you can see the output. If you can see it there, then it's probably an incompatibility issue between the Herelink Air Unit and the device you're trying to display. As you can see there, let me move the mouse around. You can see the cursor moving around. So idea being that, so imagine you have a coprocessor on there, and you're flying around with a processor doing some post processing on the video. You can any HDMI output can go through there. All right. Anyway, that's awesome. That's all I wanted to show you guys. All right. So as you can see, this thing is pretty cool. I hope you were able to get something out of that with me fumbling around with this thing. So now what I'm going to say is it did get pretty toasty without the fan running. So again, I do recommend you putting the fan on there if you're going to, especially if you're going to do video. Anything with a lot of RF going out, things tend to get pretty hot. So that fan is definitely a must, should have, for using this thing. Anyway, as always, I appreciate the time you spent with me. We'll see you in the next video.